Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the brown skin girl. Okay, now I'm gonna try to word this the best way I can, but we all know about colorism, we know about racism, we know how about the color hierarchy and things in the Black community. And we know the plight, the so-called plight of the light-skinned woman. We know the plight of the dark-skinned woman and how dark-skinned women are the most ostracized, even in comparison to dark-skinned men. But today I want to speak to the brown-skinned girls, such as myself. The girls that are too light to be considered dark-skinned, and as far as in the Black community, and then too dark to be considered light-skinned. And in some ways, and this is not a video to be like, woe is me. No. I'm not even gonna play those games or pretend that we have this huge plight that's like just as bad as such and such or whoever. But the thing is, I just want to talk about how I learned about the hierarchy in the Black community, especially dealing with Black women, because Black women take the brunt of colorism, and especially dark-skinned Black women. There is a privilege to being light-skinned. There is a privilege to being biracial. There is a privilege to being on the lighter end of the spectrum. But at the same time, it's an odd place to be in, because Chrissy calls it safe brown. And it's an odd place to be in because, like me, I consider myself darker skinned. I'm not the darkest skin, and I really realized that, but I grew up and I considered myself darker skinned. When I was in college, around college age, maybe a little after, honestly, and it's kind of embarrassing, but honestly, that's when I really realized, when we had the vocabulary as young 20-somethings to express how we felt and the things that we dealt with as children. And I remember discussing with one of my darker skinned friends when I would refer to myself as dark skinned, and she was like, no. And she would tell me the things people would say to her, the things people would call her, that I've never been called. I've never been called ugly, mostly because I'm not ugly by normal standards. But a lot of times we know people automatically call dark-skinned women ugly or suggest that they would look better if they were lighter. And I really understood that there was a difference between being brown skin, being dark skin, or being a caramel complexion or pecan complexion versus being dark skin, because I never got called Black or got in any of the names that's associated with. I've been called African booty scratcher because I'm Black, and everybody Black got called African booty scratcher. But outside of that, I've never been, nobody has targeted an insult at me based on my skin tone. And typically this is something that happens in darker communities because colorism. But I really understood, and it made me cry, because I'm like, well, this is something that I've never experienced, and I'm Black, and I'm not light skinned, I'm not biracial, but I'm Black. One thing that I do want Black women to do as a collective, which means a majority of us, is to really stick together as women. A lot of Black women are Black male identified or just male identified, and really sympathize with the plight of men or with men in general over other women. And that's a concept I've never understood. But I think that it's important, no matter what shade of the spectrum we fall on, is that we remain on the same page, and we're talking about Black women, not biracial women. And that is a whole other video, a whole other topic that I'm gonna discuss, but I do want to tackle that topic with a little bit more care. But essentially, this is for Black women, and you know, we know the hierarchy. There's dark or whatever. We know the different shade ranges: dark skin, brown skin, light skin, or biracial. And biracial women are biracial. They're not just Black, so we shouldn't be calling them just Black. But as far as Black women with 2 Black parents, we really need to stay on the same page so we as a collective can win. And really thinking about all of one of the ways we can do that is, you know, take into account and really listen to the perspectives of dark-skinned women, because a lot of the times us as brown-skinned women, we can be invisible. You know, we may be too, you know, we don't get the attention, the positive attention that light-skinned women get, but we also don't get the negative attention that dark-skinned women get. Now, we get the negative Black woman, where all of us, you know, but we don't get as much. We get more than the light-skinned women, but we don't get as much as the dark-skinned women. And unfortunately, this is a thing that I didn't even really understand till I was like 21 or something like that. But until I really heard my friends, my darker skinned girlfriends, like really explain to me and tell me the horrific things that people have said to them, namely Black boys and even Black men have said to them. You know, me as a brown skinned woman, on top of that, having eyes that change colors, you know, I don't want to say there's a privilege in that, but there is a slight privilege in that, because, you know, because I'm conscious and I'm socially aware, I know when something should offend me. And as my plight as a brown skinned girl, especially as a brown skinned girl that has hazel eyes, sometimes they're green, sometimes they're gray, but you know, I've had Black men tell me, oh, you don't look like a regular Black girl. And if you know me, you know that I wear glasses, and you know that I love my glasses. And a part of the reason why I've become so attached to my glasses is because of my eye color. And this may be, and a lot of people may not understand this or may take it as, oh, she complaining about something that, you know, is a benefit. But as a child, I remember being 5 or 6 and people stopping me and stopping me and my family to say, oh, your eyes are so pretty, oh my God. And so just for a little backstory of where I'm gonna take this briefly is, I'm Black. I have 2 Black parents. I'm not mixed, you know, as much as a Black American descendant of American chattel slavery from the United States of America. As much as we aren't mixed, you know, I'm not mixed. I have 2 visibly Black parents, and I have visibly Black grandparents, or had. Just to give clarity of where I'm coming from, because I know when I've said this to even some of my exes or something like that, or friends, you know, they don't understand, because people will see, especially in the Black community, this part of me that is more white adjacent, even though everything comes from Black women, that's more white adjacent and more Eurocentric and acceptable, and thus more attractive. And even as a child, it bothered me the way people drew into compliment me on my eyes, and it was really a complex for me for the longest time. So I really grasped onto my glasses, and my glasses are like an additional limb. Like, I have contacts. My vision is so poor, I got a year worth of contacts for free because I medically need them. But I can never let go of my glasses. My glasses are a part of my identity. And a part of the reason why I'm so attached to my glasses is because they hid my eyes. And as long as people don't see the color of my eyes, I'm visibly black. I don't get questions. But even in college, a place of higher learning, you know, I would have people ask me, oh, you mixed, you must be mixed, you white, you a white girl. Black people don't have those color eyes. And I'm like, story of my life. Like, I remember being a 5 or 6 year old and just being so disturbed my entire childhood by, first of all, it made me feel different. And as a kid, a child, you don't want to feel different. You want to be like everybody else. You want to fit in. And it made me different. And it really gave me a complex. And I hid behind my glasses a lot. And I still do. Because at this point, they're my comfort zone. Because men would compliment me on my eyes. And men would say things about that. And just like, so it's nothing else about me that you like? Oh, I'm not like the other black girls. You mean my sister? You mean my family members, my friends? You mean those? So I'm better than them because of an eye color? Meanwhile, I can barely even see out these things because of my astigmatism. So it always bothered me. But I never associate, of course I didn't have the vocabulary to understand featureism. But I do understand that there is a slight privilege to having an eye color, because even black men that don't really like black women will say I'm an acceptable black because I have a Eurocentric feature. And just for a backstory, I'm the first person in my family to have this eye color. So not the first person, but the first person in a long time. The only person, listen, both of my parents, my mom, there's 13, it was 13 of them. My dad, it was 14 of them. We from North Carolina, we from the South. They had a lot of kids back in the day. None of my uncles and aunts have them on either side. My parents don't. One of my mom's aunts had them, which is my great aunt. And I don't even know if she's living anymore. But she had them, and I'm the next person that showed up. You can imagine how many cousins I have with having both my parents having 13 and 14 siblings. And I'm the first one it showed up in. First of all, it's a recessive gene. That's what my brother called it. But secondly, my brothers had them. I have twin brothers. One of them is no longer with us, but me and my brothers are the only people, the only one of none of my cousins have them. None of my uncles and aunts have them. We're the only ones in my family that have them. My sister don't even have them. And so it's like, I'm black. And this thing doesn't make me any different, but it does ignite a conversation of featureism along with colorism, because we really have to stay on the same page as black women to make sure we keep people in order who try to put us in this hierarchy. And it's really up to us to disregard and dismantle the hierarchy even in our own minds. We may not be able to dismantle it in other people's minds or in black males' minds, but it's up to us to not to fall into that. It's up to me as a brown skinned girl to understand the plight of darker skinned women and girls. It's up to me to understand that, and when I see a problem, to correct it. Because time and time again, the problem with the black community accepting biracial women or mixed women as black is that there is a hierarchy, and most people are selfish. And besides the fact that they literally aren't just black, but most people are selfish, and it's up to me to not accept the privileges that people may try to bestow upon me because I'm a little bit lighter than the dark-skinned girl that's sitting beside me, or because my eye color may be different. All I wanted was black or dark brown eyes as a kid, because I got so tired of people talking about it. And so for me, my thing is, if you say something to me about my eye color, it's automatically a strike. And by a strike, I mean you struck out. Don't say nothing to me about my eyes. Don't say nothing to me about, oh, you look mixed, or oh, are you mixed? Or, because you know we get that. It don't matter what complexion we are half the time. People act like they can't rationalize black women being attractive without having some being diluted in some way. But my thing is, we have to be on the same page, because this hierarchy is not beneficial to any of us. And because ultimately we all lose. Because what happens if I have a dark-skinned daughter? What happens if I have a biracial daughter and she's pedestalized in a bad way and end up, because most people that's going to pedestalize her because she's biracial is trash anyway, and I wouldn't want my child to be with them. So ultimately we all lose, because when you're unhappy, you lose. So I really want us to continue this conversation, and for us as black women of all shades to really get on the same page and to, you know, stick by each other. Make sure that we aren't accepting the privileges that we may be afforded because we have a different skin tone or different features. You know, to hold people accountable who disrespect one of our sisters in any way, and to let them know that you are not one of the black women who's gonna take a backhanded compliment, that's gonna allow somebody to say, oh, you're better than her because of this or that. No, we're not doing that. And you know, I think all of us can get on the same page. And I think for the most part, you know, I don't like when people say that black women don't support each other, because that's not true. A lot of us are black male identified, but a lot of us aren't. And I think at some point our hands are they're gonna force our hands anyway, because we really need to get to a place where we're collectively winning. We collectively have a good image. It really sucks that this is even a conversation that I have to have, but it is. And I think that we can win. And you know what else? Like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I'm not gonna be one of those people that pretend like because I am black that I don't hold some sort of privilege, even if it is minuscule. You know, it is some privilege, and that I'm gonna do my part to dismantle colorism as much as I can, and to get us to a place where, you know, we can be shown in a more favorable light, and so that men aren't comfortable distinguishing us from each other, and so that men aren't comfortable, you know, giving us these backhanded compliments, because at the end of the day we are all black women, and we all are going to get called angry and bitter and crazy and have attitudes and everything, you silly thing you can name. We're going to all get called these things, so it's no sense and it's no benefit in pretending like there is a win by somebody telling me I look mixed, or somebody telling me that I don't look like a regular black girl. And it's also important for us to acknowledge that we are on a different hierarchy, and that we are, you know, that I don't have the same plight or the same experience as women that may be darker than me. And we have to acknowledge and accept that, so that we can move better and shake better in the world. So please like and subscribe, you know, to my channel. You know, I want this message to reach as many black women as possible. You know, I want us to get on the same page. I want us to live our best lives, and I want us to just be happy. And we can do that, because a lot of that, especially our happiness, is totally in our control. So have a great day. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.